Paranormal Activity saga has raised millions and millions of dollars. In fact, the first Paranormal Activity film's budget was $15,000 and it managed to gross over $193 million at the box office. Today we're going to be looking at the third installment, Paranormal Activity 3, and whether it's even worth watching, or the $5 million budget. Despite receiving a fair bit of negative backlash, the Paranormal Activity saga performed pretty well. Admittedly, it got worse and worse, some saying it should have been left at the first one, some saying the story was perfect and worked fine with the 6 movies that Paramount managed to push out, and it doesn't stop people from feeling like this was milked, which I personally think it was. They knew from the release weekend results of the first film, this shit was a hit. With only a measly $15,000 budget and receiving hundreds of millions of dollars back through the box office, there is no doubt that Paramount knew that they had a cash cow in their midst. I was thinking about it during the runtime of the first film. Was it pretty good for a film that only cost $15,000 to produce? The answer is a clear yes. It was received pretty well, in fact really well, with the critics giving the film pretty reputable reviews, and of course with the film's profits skyrocketing. I continued the second one and saw a couple of flaws. More of a reasonable budget, they didn't seem to mess it up too hard. After all, it was a sequel, and okay, it wasn't their best work, but to say the least, it was watchable and somewhat enjoyable. Then, however, you come over to the third installment and you think, wait, what? Firstly, the trailer advertised it to be something that it really wasn't. They used all the deleted scenes that, well, as I just said, were deleted and were not used in the final product. A couple of shitty looks at the highlights of the second movie, and that's pretty much what we got. Oh, and did I mention, none of those shots are in the fucking movie. Here's what they put instead. Cameraman can't afford a tripod.
Janius, I can't believe you're filming me. Smilk, Marad Bianya.
Film us having sex.
Can't believe you're filming me.
Oh, he found his tripod. Oh, earthquake happens as soon as they're just about to do it. Seriously though, who runs that fast, that loud, at 3 AM in the fucking morning? Oh, Jesus. Strangely enough, this is the only character in the entire film that looks appropriately dressed for 1988. This last effect looks as if it cost the entire movie's budget. So, why did I hate Paranormal Activity 3? Well, for a start, I don't really like found footage movies. You know, I felt like this film kind of depended on just introducing the characters, Christy and Katie. And this movie is a found footage film. I'm not a big fan already, but it was kind of unbelievable with the high definition tapes for back then. There were no glitching in the tapes, there was no tearing or anything. There was one at the beginning where it snapped to 2006 when they were ransacked, but that was it. I'm not even sure if they were recording over that tape, but it was led to believe that they had recorded over the first tape that they watched. Then you go into 1988 and it's kind of unbelievable. You think, what the hell, who am I looking at? What are these people? And then you see Christy and Katie and you think, okay. Further into the film, Dennis is a cameraman. He's interested in all the Paranormal Activity shit. A lot of badass shit goes on, and that's kind of it. I felt throughout the film that it relied on jump scares, and that kind of pissed me off. Almost made this film a laughing stock. Now, the reason why this film didn't come out as a laughing stock was because it is a found footage film, and that people thought this was perfect just to sort of like link up 1 and 2 and sort of, you know, help you explain some of the shit that went on in those 2 films, because they were kind of confusing when you put them together. This reminded me a lot of what they had done with Rogue One, trying to link up episode 3 and episode 4, trying to give fans more of a backstory and more of like what actually happened and more of a look at the origins of some of these characters. And that's really one of the only problems I actually have with Paranormal Activity 3, is the fact that it kind of lacked its own story. It kind of just wanted to leech off the other 2 films for a quick buck. So was it worth them spending $5 million on this film? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing. See you next time.